Hello everyone, general channel joiner here, and welcome back to this funny channel. Today I want to talk about some patch things, first things, what I think about the new map. Now let's first go over like the big patch changes. I'm obviously not gonna go through the whole patch. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on like the direction where this patch is taking us. The recon changes are probably the biggest thing ever. I think seeing your opponent is good, and you should be able to see your opponent more, because seeing your opponent allows both of you to play the game instead of your units just shooting at your opponent and he cannot see you and interact with you in any way. I think that's bad. I think there should be more player-to-player interaction, because that's what makes the game fun, and not seeing your opponent is pretty bad. I'm obviously not saying remove stealth or whatever, but I'm just saying that, if you use your recon and you place it well, you should be able to see your opponent. And this is a step in the right direction. So now that you can actually see people more, you can actually start doing some proper balancing. So a lot of people might complain about IFVs or fire support meta and blobbing meta. Reality is that you can actually start nerfing IFVs, and I'm completely fine with nerfing IFVs if you actually can see your opponent and you actually have some gameplay that isn't complete blobbing. On the topic of blobbing, blobbing is gonna continue, because blobbing is the only way you can push in this game because of how ridiculous the suppression on ATGMs, AT, and basically everything is. The increased suppression of the artillery very slightly, I mean, I disagree with it, but it's not a big change. They should make artillery more accurate, the splash bigger, etc. And you can then maybe lower its damage or whatever, but like right now when you're just gambling, putting your artillery here and shooting at this building and shooting 2 shots and you hope it hits, otherwise the opponent just moves out and you can't kill him, it's not good that way, but what can you do, eh? I mean, at least now you can see him better. So those are like the general thoughts about this patch. This is like the first patch I have seen in a while where there aren't like any things about to complain. Basically they didn't do anything bad, except maybe buffing second UK was a bad option, but they didn't nerf the cluster mortar, they didn't do this, but like everything they did was sound, and I hope we see more of these patches in the future, and I hope they come a lot sooner so we don't have to wait 2 months for each patch that maybe slightly fixes the game. So blobbing is gonna continue, blobbing is gonna be stronger, and the top dog divs are still gonna be top dog divs. You're still gonna see 56th, you're still gonna see 2nd Panzergren, you're still gonna see VDV, you're still gonna see 5 easy, and that's gonna continue until IFVs and suppression on ATGMs is nerfed. I don't think they're actually ever gonna nerf suppression on ATGMs, but one can dream. Anyways, let's move on to thoughts about the map. So I obviously haven't played this isn't in the ranked pool, but I have enough experience that I can just tell you first impressions, and just from looking at the map and how it's laid out. All I want to say that like to people who complained about urban front lines, and I was those people who complained about urban front lines actually after playing it like throughout like 50 games or something. Okay, no, maybe not 50 games, but tens of games. You actually, the map kind of grows on you, and you can see that it's not perfect, but it's better than whatever this is. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna complain too much, because I obviously haven't played it, but just from the layout it seems pretty uninspiring. They took this map, which has a lot of like layers and heights and whatever, and they decided to make a map around it. So then they just left out all of this and all of this that could be like maybe used as a map, as like where you can fight with your fire support or whatever, and then they decided to give us to fight over basically nothing here and here. When it comes to like how you're gonna play this map, I think that this side has a very obvious advantage to these 3 points. Why? Because they're on the hill and they can contest it very easily. I'm gonna guess that you basically get to these buildings first, and that you can just place all of your fire support all the way around here. And when you place your fire support there, then it's basically impossible for him to cross here. Like if you people ever played that row, and that map has been there since the release of the game, you're gonna know that if your opponent pushes you out of the hill in the center, it's pretty fucking hard to get back up, because once you know peek here, there's gonna be 10 gazillion fire supports just shooting at you instantly, and there's no way for you to spot him, you know, before he shoots at you. So what's gonna be the gameplay from like this side? You're basically gonna be chilling here, chilling with your CV here, and you know, maybe sitting in this bush like here to shoot at any of his fire support, and that's it. This side gets this point, and this side can get to Boris pretty easily because it has the heights. It can place its fire support wherever it wants, and you're also gonna sit here with your CV, maybe here, but here probably, and you're gonna smoke it, and that's gonna be your gameplay. So I don't see how it's like contestable. I mean, you can obviously, I don't know, do a rush and push into here or something, but like just from the map layout, how it's laid out, how the points are laid out, how the heights are laid out, how the trees are laid out, this side has a pretty obvious advantage here. Now for this side, not everything is, you know, so dire and black. You're not gonna be roaching, you know, this small point here. You can actually do a lot of stuff here. So I think you don't have like an inherent advantage as this side over here, but just from like how the map is laid out, if you notice that let's say you play red, you play this side, and you decide to push this point, you can like move up here, you can push him all the way down, and then you can, you know, and place your 80 GMs, your fire support here, and you can just start shooting at his resupply road, and this is a pretty open point, so you can use like a lot of your fire support. And this hill that you have protection from this side, you can pretty, you know, well push into here. The same cannot be said from when pushing the forest from this side. If you, let's say you push the forest, you take this point and then you push into here, you aren't really cutting off anything. You have like this small hole, I guess, here, but as long as he, like, let's say holds this here, basically he's fine when it comes to resupplying his point, and he can hold Fedor pretty well even with that. So as this side, you know, you can't really, I mean, you can push Fedor, you can push this, but you don't have like an inherent advantage to pushing it, compared to like this side has a lot more to profit, because it can just cut off your resupply route to here. If it, you know, even if it manages to get here, it's pretty over for you trying to get into Dimitri. So maybe how this map is going to be played, I mean, we're gonna find out in like a month, is that red is gonna try and push this side here, because it has a lot to gain here, and it can't really gain a lot of things here. And this side is just gonna push this side here and maybe try and defend here. That's how I would approach it. Obviously you can play it however you want. You can play third armored and you know, he'll rush your opponent and land with you know, helicopters here and be like, haha, Joker, look, you can play the map this way. But I'm just basically telling you from observation who has an inherent advantage where, just from looking at the terrain and how the map is laid out. So I'm basically just giving you some ideas on like when you, let's say you hop on ranked in your game and then you wanna play and you get this map that you aren't like completely clueless as to how to play it, basically. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about. It's a bit of a lazy video, but at the same time, you know, wanted to share my thoughts about it because I have something to say about it. So basically that's it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.